The podcast you're about to hear is my 51st Takes podcast that was around 2 years ago. We only did about 7 episodes, but here they are, and I'm bringing them into the Patrick Productions brand, and I'm going to be continuing it here on the YouTube channel, looking into maybe pushing it out to other mediums here soon. So I hope you enjoy. Some of the movies are a little bit older, but there's some of the ones that are still fun to watch today. So I hope you enjoy them. Hello, my name is Patrick, and welcome to 51st Takes, your number one movie review show, and you get to hear takes of movies that I get to watch. Well, today is a very special show. I am accompanied by a special woman in my life, and that is my own mother. Say hello to the people, Mom.
Hi, everybody.
And this is a special show for Mother's Day weekend. I had the opportunity to take my mom to watch a movie this weekend, and we're going to review it for you. The movie that we saw was Breaking In, starring Gabrielle Union, Dwayne Wade's wife, for those who don't know her. Directed by James McTeague, and the movie was just alright for me. The premise of the movie is it follows a single mother, Sean, who suddenly after her father's death has to go to her home and retrieve some things and get ready to sell the house. But at that moment in time, some burglars come by and try to steal some stuff out of the safe. It turns out to be money, and it just turns out that Gabby Douglas has to not Gabby Douglas. Gabby Union has to break back into her house to save her children. This is a very mother-centric movie. It's obviously geared towards the Mother Day release. And hey, Mom, what did you first reactions of the movie? What were your thoughts as a mom?
It was very mom empowering. I mean, you were pretty spot on with that depiction and plot base.
Okay. Yeah, so we have Gabrielle Union, and she actually played, I thought she was the best part of the whole entire movie, honestly. She was a very strong female-led character. She hasn't been in too much of things as a starring role. I think this is something that is more of a breakout for her, that I like to actually see her star into more different other movies. But in the movie itself, I thought it was very confusing, personally. I didn't know whether I wanted to be a little on the campy side or go strict horror thriller with the movie. The bad guys in this movie, there's one that was a little bit more campy type of character, and there's another one that was a little bit more of a horror type of color. And then the third bad guy, you don't really know what to do. He didn't really show too much emotion for me, and at the end of the day, they were all pretty forgettable to me. But the main centric of the movie was Gabrielle Union and how she was playing that motherly role. What your thoughts on Miss Union?
Yeah, Gabby was spot on. Gabrielle kicked butt. She looked great. She had really good demeanor. Her tone was right in line with what you would expect from Gabrielle, and I thought this movie is going to do well for her, as long as we can get it out there for the public to see. But it's a weak plot, and Patrick, you're right on. I mean, it's going to be tough to beat some of the other movies that are out there right now, like the movie coming out with McCartney. I mean, the whole back to school movie is really going to outshine this one, unfortunately.
And we're also forgetting about the big juggernaut that just made $1.3 billion of the past 2 weekends, and probably be making close to 1.6 after this weekend. That's Infinity War. That's cashing a big Infinity Gauntlet shadow over any movie coming out.
Yeah, but it's made its money already, and I don't think the kids are going to take mom to go see that. Mom wants to go to the zoo maybe, and spend time in the garden with her kids.
Not go watch this movie?
Maybe not go watch this movie, but
let's talk about some of the characters, the kids. I was disappointed in kids. Whenever I watch kid actors, and kids in movies, I use my my standard is always the Jurassic Park kids. I've always thought that with Jurassic Park, you always felt that those kids were in true danger, and you always were feeling for those kids, and those kids did a very well job acting wise, and I didn't think so that was the same with these kids. I never really believed that they were truly in danger. I just didn't really feel for them, but that's also for me. I'm a single guy. So what were your thoughts on the movie? Were you able to feel for those kids?
I agree with you there as well, Patrick, because they tried to develop some sort of tension relationship between the mom and the daughter, and then kind of make it, kind of sweet. And but the kids really didn't dive into what their character really could have done. The young man who played Glover was really super smart and knew some really cool things about that security system. But when it came down to it, when they were in the crunch, he was weak and didn't really contribute to the rest of the movie at all, except to be the kid who needed to be saved by his big sister. Mm-hmm. And then his big sister, while she, kind of lived into her mom's shoes a little bit and kind of made her mom proud all the time, she really just, she seemed too weak for what they built her up to be at first.
Yes, definitely. Moving on from characters, we just how the film was shot. It was all the action sequences were very well put together. Gabby did a very good job working with whoever the action director was for this movie. She was able to fight well and it looked good on screen. The only part that in the whole cinematic I thought was very weak is the use of sound and then the score of the movie. They in this house you had this. It's set up to play music throughout the whole entire house. And I thought they could have used that a lot better in this movie. This movie didn't. The budget wasn't really all that great, but you could have used that effect to go a long way, and it's something that you could probably really do for really cheap too. And what your thoughts on that?
I agree. Even during the action scenes, they could have really beefed up and made the movie more dramatic just by increasing the sound and the soundtrack along with it. So yeah, I was left very put back by that effect.
Yeah, the score wasn't really the two greatest of scores. Going back to the themes of the movie, this is really why I thought the film was really weak, because it didn't really show too many themes outside of, hey, this is a strong mother character. It just always played around that theme of mother and protecting mother. That's the only really thing I could really see of it. Everything else, it was dialogue was all right, and it just didn't really do anything for me. What do you say?
Well, while that theme seems like the only theme, it's pretty powerful theme. And like most moms, will do just about anything to protect their kids. If I were put in Sean's shoes, I probably would have been knocked out in the first big sock that she got. But I would also probably get right back on my feet just like Sean did and get back after her kids, because we would do anything for our children.
That's always good to hear. But yeah, overall, this movie wasn't really the greatest. If I would have to put a rating on it, I would give it a solid 0.5 out of my 5 takes. You guys know I rate movies on rewatchability, and so this is one of those movies that don't really want to go to the movie theater to really see. I give it a 0.5. If it's on Netflix, go ahead and flip it on. Waste 90 minutes of your time. I do like going back to the movie. Actually, I do like it. It's only 90 minutes. Actually, technically, it's 88 minutes, so it's even shorter than that. It came fast. But yeah, it's 0.5 Netflix movie. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm with you there, Patrick. If it weren't for the fact that you were wonderfully inviting me to go see the movie, and I saw this premise, I probably would wait for it to come out on Netflix.
So you suggest kids not taking their mom to see this movie this Mother's Day weekend?
I would suggest that they take mom to the zoo on a beautiful day.
Oh, to the zoo. Well, that's that's a hint drop for me, I guess. You heard it from me. You heard it from my mom. It's scoring a .5 this week. I just want to thank you again, Mother, to joining me on this show. Just reiterate, go out there, spend some time with your mothers this weekend. I know we have some plans this weekend on Sunday. Go out there and spend some time with your moms. What do you say, Mom?
Thanks for inviting me. Everybody, go see the movies.
All right, now we move on to the movie questions portion of the podcast. Before we start this, I'm going to go back to the question that was asked last week that I need to fact check myself with. It was asked, can the July release of Ant-Man and Wasp and the March release of Captain Marvel hold fans to the next Avengers movie? I think I said that the Captain Marvel was coming out in November. I was a little bit confused because that's when Thor Ragnarok came out, so I was a little confused on that, but anyways, my answer kind of stays the same, where I would still move Ant-Man back to August and then move Captain Marvel to February, just to give them some more breathing room from Infinity War and the next Avengers movie, Avengers 4. Move Captain Marvel back just one more month, give it some more time to make its money, and then that also subtracts about 3 more months from the wait. So just go back to that question here. I do apologize for not getting my facts correct. All right. First fan question for this week is from Mitch. He asks, are there any Oscar nominations for Avengers? I'm guessing Avengers Infinity War here. And my plain and simple answer is no. The reason why is any nominations that this movie would get, I think the Academy will give to Black Panther. And so I don't think that. So let's go back to any visual effects. I think they would be more inclined to give the Black Panther due to the climate of today's society, and it's a good nod to that. Also, if we go to soundtrack, the type of soundtrack that Kendrick Lamar made for Black Panther, is just much better, in my opinion, than Infinity War. Any other costume design, you have way better costumes in Black Panther than Infinity War. So that's my opinion here, is that any nomination that Infinity War could get, I think that the Academy will reserve to Black Panther getting that nod. And if Black Panther gets that nod, just for diversifying, they're not going to put 2 superhero movies on the nomination list. So that's my answer for that. Thank you, Mitch, for that question. The next question comes from Cody, and he asks, tough one, why can't DC get it right with their live action movies? All right. Do you mean DCEU or all of DC? Because, some of the best superhero movies there are DC movies. You have Dark Knight and then the whole Nolan trilogy. You have even Christopher Reeve's Superman, which is one heralded as a great movie. And then you have Michael Keaton's Batman, which is also heralded as a pretty good movie with Jack Nicholson as the Joker. So I'm guessing that you're talking about the DCEU, and the main problem with them is, Marvel came first. They hit that market first, and then now they're trying to play catch up. If it was up to me, I would stick. And if I was an executive of DC, I would stick with the single movie entities. Or if you have a prolific enough director, give someone like Nolan, or that's an example, give a prolific enough director 3 movies to tell his story. But with these overarching stories that we see in Marvel, and then that we see in that we see other studios try to do. You have the Dark Universe, which failed. Honestly, I don't think it's in their best interest to try to do that. Stick with Get good directors and let them direct and tell a good story. If we do that, DCEU would, or this DC cinematic universe, or not even the cinematic universe, the DC live action movies will be a lot better. If you go look at the Arrowverse and see what they're doing, I'll hire those writers, because obviously they're doing something right with the TV shows. Just give them the platform to succeed. Don't let the executives come in. Don't let anyone outside. Give the director the keys to the castle and let him tell a great story. Because if you give directors enough time and enough, heck, you don't even. I'd give these budgets cheap. Give them cheap budgets for all, and see what they can do with it. Some of the best movies out there happen on low to none budget. So it's not even about budget. It's too many chickens in the chicken nest. It's too many heads in these meetings, and that's what's causing them to not succeed. They're trying to fill up all these ideas. They're trying to play catch up to Marvel, and trust me, I mean, I'm not. If you guys know me, I read mostly. I'm a Flash guy. I read a lot of Flash comics, so I love DC. But when it comes to the cinematic universe, or to just live action movies, at least in the modern era since Man of Steel, there's just been too many people involved. Go back to the roots. Go back to getting good directors, because that's what they've for the best movies, they've always had good directors, and then let them tell a story. If they do that, you will see a reinsurgence of the live action DC movies, and it'll be best for us as viewers. Trying to think if there's anything else. Why can't they make a good movie? I mean, I would say they have made good movies, but we're probably talking about the DCEU, which I personally don't like. I know probably will get some hate for that, but hey, tweet at me, and I may respond. So thank you very much for your question, Cody, and that's what my thoughts on that. And that concludes this show of 51st Takes. Thank you for joining me on this Mother's Day weekend. Remember, go out there, spend some time with your mothers. Don't take her to Breaking In, as I learned my mom did not like that movie. But yeah, go spend some time with your mothers and have a great weekend. Like always, be sure to hit the subscribe button above, and follow me on social media at 51st Takes, or if you want to follow my personal account, it'll be at 51st Patrick. Tweet me your questions. You can email me at 51stakes@gmail.com. I'll be sure to get to all your questions here towards the end of the podcast. And yeah, have a great rest of your weekend, guys. See ya.